Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Things I Hate, where we talk about video games, sprouting wings, and flying off into the sky. I'm Ace Scorcher, and today we are going to be talking about The Legend of Dragoon. So, without further ado, let's get started. One of the first things I'd like to talk to you about is the Dragoon transformation itself. Now, it looks cool, it's got awesome abilities spread out, but there's just a few issues that I have with it. First of all, once you've transformed into your Dragoon state, you can't transform back willingly. See, your Dragoon transformation is determined by the bar underneath it, and depending on how many charges on that bar are, will determine how long you have in that Dragoon transformation. For example, if I have 3 charges, that means you got 3 turns of using that Dragoon transformation. So, whether it be with your magic or just regular attack, you'll be going at it for those 3 turns. Now, this is a problem because of the fact that if 2 of your teammates are dead, you're still going to be stuck in this form until your 3 turns go out. So you could end up dying before you return to normal. And seeing as you can't use items while you're transformed into Dragoon state, if your character doesn't have a way to revive them, you're kind of fucked if you're not at the level you need to beat your opponent. Especially after you use a powerful magic attack and you're just left waiting until the enemy's next turn or half turn ends. So that sucks. You should also note that Dragoon form doesn't level up with XP. It levels up with how much SP you collect. You know, through like your normal means, like using additions and so forth. So that sucks because you could easily have just leveled up with XP. Why is SP what you need? And since there's not really like a way to track how much SP you have for your Dragoon form in this game, you have no idea when your Dragoon form is going to level up to the next level anyway. This could take a lot longer than you were really hoping for. The second thing I'd like to talk to you about is the inventory space. Now, this game reminds me of my same issue I had with Digimon World 2. Your inventory space is not all that large. Sure, you could carry about, I think, 255 weapons, shields, like total. But when it comes to items, you can only carry about like 32, which kind of sucks. Because it really means you're going to have to be limiting yourself on what you need, specifically like for health items or revive, and magic stones that you can throw at the enemy to do elemental damage, as that's all encompassed into one small little pack. Now, sure, you can just use the Dragoon's magic. That works, but there's also the problem of when you run out of MP, which, again, also needs an MP restore, which takes up another slot in your inventory. Now, can you beat the game with a small inventory space? Of course you can. It's definitely doable, but I just would have liked if there was more space, because there's plenty of times where there's either a healing item I leave or like another magic stone that I haven't gotten to try to use yet that I just have to abandon and leave behind because there's just not enough space to carry it all. I usually prefer just like hoarding a lot of this stuff or just having it for like the real tough encounters. That way you can be like, well, it's a good thing I carried all this stuff, but it doesn't really give you that opportunity to do that.
The final thing I'd like to talk to you about is the additions. Additions are how you essentially do a lot of your main damage. When you attack your enemy, a square is going to appear on the screen, and you have to time the action button right when the square lines up with the square that's already there. If you do it right, your combo continues, and if you do it wrong, you just do a small bit of damage. This takes some timing to understand, and I would eventually get it, for the most part, but the problem is unlocking the other additions and other sets of combos each character has. Characters, I think, have like 7 different types of attack they can use, and with each level of the attack, there's more additions to do. With this in mind, the only way you can get these other additions is you have to perform the previous set of additions a certain amount of times. So if I want to unlock the final addition for her character, I'd probably have to use the previous level addition, let's just say level 6, maybe over 100 times. And mind you, that's using the addition correctly, like 100 times. If you don't perform the addition all the way through, then unfortunately, you've just wasted that attempt and you'll have to do it again later. This was pissing me off. Honestly, I would prefer if we unlocked these new additions as we leveled up and could just use them from the get-go. The idea of having to constantly level them up just for them to do the right amount of damage or to unlock new ones was not a fun idea for me. Especially with the grinding I already had to do with the Dragoon forms prior to this. But hey, that's just my opinion. One final thing I'd like to talk about is Shauna and Miranda. Honestly, both these characters have a bit of a problem with me. With Shauna, it's the fact that her main mode of attack is just the bow. And unfortunately, because of this, her damage is minuscule. The other problem is she has no additions, so she can't do any higher combos of damage. The same with Miranda. And I was thinking, since Shauna ends up getting replaced by Miranda later in the game, she would have at least her own additions or something. But no, they're just literally the same. And sure, they get more SP than mostly everyone else. And sure, Shauna has some of the best magic stats, but I just can't look past the fact that in order to get there, we're just going to have to be fine with that piss poor bow a lot of the time. Also, I just honestly didn't like Miranda's character when she was introduced, so the fact that she ended up replacing Shauna on the team was not a seller for me. So, that's my opinion. So, what'd you guys think? Is there anything from Legend of Dragoon I missed, or is there a game that you'd like me to talk about next time? Let me know in the comments below and I'll do some looking into it. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure you like, subscribe. We have a variety of stuff you can enjoy, or come check us out live Monday through Wednesday. So, till next time, I've been Ace. You take care. Bye-bye.